Hello once again, my dear students. I am going to discuss another topic in our chapter 1 on psychological assessment. And this is on parties involved in the assessment enterprise, as well as if I will be able to have the time to continue with the other topic, which covers about the different settings where assessments are conducted. So this time, we shall look into the parties involved in the assessment enterprise. And when we say parties, we actually mean who are these people who are responsible in making tests, in creating tests, who are these people in publishing tests, so that the people of the world who are in need of these different psychological tests or assessment tools will be able to purchase. Okay. However, there is a warning with the one that I mentioned on purchase of psychological um, tests or assessment tools. And this thing will be discussed in other topics later on. Okay. So one of the parties involved in the assessment enterprise is the test developers and of course publishers, as you can see there. So when we talk about test developers, these are people who are creators of the different tests or assessment tools. And mind you, class, these are geniuses because later on, when you will get to know how tests are being developed, it's really a rigorous work. It involves science. It involves the artistic abilities of the developers or the makers of this. And if you try to see later on the different phases involved in test development, um, it is really so lengthy. And that is the reason why test developers really spend years, no, before they are able to publish their psychological uh, tests. And what are the roles of publishers, no, with test developers? Well, publishers are the ones who are to publish the tests developed by test developers. And these publishers, of course, have publishing companies, no? So that the tests that were developed would be known by people, would be known by test users, and they will know that such kinds of tests are already available. And if they are interested, then they really have to check on the price maybe and the requirements for the purchase of these tests, right? So as you can see on the slide, we have their test developers and publishers create tests or other methods of assessment. And under that, we have to consider um, the standards or standards for educational and psychological testing. Because in test development and in publishing tests, you actually need to follow the standards. Okay? And what are these standards? They are actually detailed, no, criteria which these people have to consider when they are to develop their tests and when these tests are now due for publication. So as you can see, these standards or standards for educational and psychological testing Um, it's actually a detailed document that specifically addresses aspects of responsible test development and use. Okay, so there are certain criteria which these people have to consider and also have to follow or satisfy so that their tests later on, when they're able to complete it, it will be acceptable, it will be accepted, and it will later be published. So there is what you call there the aspects of responsible test development. So the term there responsible um, connotes a lot of things on the part of the test developers, on the part of the publishers, because um, your client fields or the test users must also be aware that what these people have gone through in coming up with the tests are very rigorous, very tedious. And therefore, it could not just be bought when you want to buy it if you are a client of a publishing company because you are interested of purchasing, for example, a certain test. And not all people are considered, um, not all people are qualified, I should say, to purchase tests. Not all people are qualified to use tests. So that is because there are standards to satisfy, there are standards to follow, and there are standards to consider. Okay. Aside from that, aside from what I have discussed about the standards for educational and psychological assessment, um, this alone covers issues related to test construction and evaluation. So what are the things that you have to put in mind if you are a test developer? No? So yung test construction na binanggit ko or test development, there are a lot of considerations. There are a lot of parameters that you have to put in mind and that you have to satisfy so that you will not commit errors in test construction. And there are a lot of principles, no, which a test developer and a publisher must um, must stand up with, okay, in order for them not to commit uh, errors. And then um, these standards would also have something to do with test administration and use. So how are these tests being administered? And that is why nga, test administrators must really be trained enough, no? uh, in the administration of tests, in the proper administration of tests. And test administrators or assessors must know what particular tests um, he or she actually needs to give to his or her clientele. And of course, the other one there is the special applications of tests. In other words, not because you have this test that you could just give it to anyone else or you could just administer it, because you must be aware of the nature of the test, which population would this test is supposed to be given, because there are tests which are only meant for normal population and there are also tests which are meant for um, the special group. When I say special group, these have mental conditions. Okay. Uh, we also have a group of people wherein you have to consider the culture that they have in such a way that not all tests are meant to them, because there is what we call um, sensitivity in terms of test taking because of the culture of this group of people. Okay, what else? And the standards that I am currently talking about here was jointly written by the American Educational Research Association, the American Psychological Association, and the National Council on Measurement in Education. In education. So it's not only done by one organization, but it is um, multidisciplinary in nature because you actually need a lot of brains, no? You need a lot of brainstorming coming from different fields, interrelated fields, so that you will be able to come up with standards which are of course not questionable. Standards na sinasabi, di ba? So standards, it's because these are the things that you need um, to follow, to follow. Because when standards are erroneous, well, everything else will also become erroneous. Okay? Another party involved in assessment is the test user. So, sino ba ang mga test users? So, you can see they're clinicians. Okay? Why do they need tests? To test their patients, if it is actually needed. So that if the behavioral observation that they have undergone with their clients is seemingly not enough, then the clinician might as well consider to give the patient a psychological test or an assessment procedure. Counselors, why do they need tests? Why are they considered test users? It's because for counselors, from tests, no, or from assessment, they are able to gauge uh, what is it that their clients need at the moment? What is it that their clients have to undertake in the future, given the course maybe of the condition that they have, so forth and so on. School psychologists. You should remember ang mga school psychologists plus ito yung mga specialists and they actually do individual counseling with regards um, issues in the school about the student. Halimbawa, ito yung isang kliyente na napakahirap niyang turuan because of a certain condition, and so the school psychologist would handle, no, this client and provide the necessary intervention in order to help this client in terms of his academic undertakings. Okay? Human resources personnel. So when you are in the department in charge of recruitment of personnel, so what could help you identify among the applicants are qualified for the position because they possess the necessary skills or competencies of the job that is at the moment open in your company. And then you can see their psychologists are users of uh, assessment, assessment tools, industrial organizational psychologists. When you want to know the behavior of your um, of the workers in the company, when you want to assess how far have they produced the needed deliverables in their company, or what could have went wrong because there was a decline, no, in the production. So must it have been the problem of tardiness? Must it have been the problem of employees' truancy? So all of this, by utilizing assessment tools, and that is the reason why they are considered um, test users. Experimental psychologists, for example, and of course, the social psychologists. So, sobrang dami ng pwedeng sabihin ng mga test users. And they are test users because they need it in their line of profession. They need it to help them in decision making, in making interventions, no, in coming up with individual programs or group programs meant to help their clienteles with the uh, situations of their clienteles at this time, yung mga tipong ganun. So they are considered test users. Are teachers considered test users? Of course, yes. Okay. Are presidents of universities test users also? Yes. So long as there are people involved in organizations and these people, no, uh, these people are um, of use in the organization, then knowing them, developing them would entail the use of psychological assessment tools. Because as I had said earlier, these assessment tools would help in decision making, no, of the administrators, of the presidents, for example, of the company, um, of the principals, no, in the different schools, because they want to know the learning competencies of their learners or students. So, sobrang dami ng pwedeng gumamit ng test. But then again, later on, you will get to know in the different qualifications for test users. And these are um, leveled with the different qualifications or competencies of experts in the use and purchase of psychological tests. Malalaman natin, ano bang klaseng mga test lang ang pwede sa mga taong nabanggit ko kanina, like the administrators, business executives, compared dun sa mga tests na kayang-kayang hawakan ng mga individuals that are seen here, no, on the screen. Okay. Next party is the test taker, or what we call the assessee. So you are a test taker because you are a subject of an assessment or an evaluation. You are the one being tested. Okay. You are the one being assessed. And therefore, you are a very important party in the assessment. In the assessment. And mind you, class, if you would like to ask me, yung mga namatay na ba, pwede pang magawan ng psychological assessment? So, I have asked that because there is what we call psychological autopsy. Ano ba itong psychological autopsy na ito? It is defined as a reconstruction of a deceased individual's psychological profile on the basis of archival records, artifacts, and interviews previously conducted with the deceased assessee or people who knew the person well. And therefore, the deceased is still considered a test taker or an assessee. Namatay nga lang siya. But using the artifacts na sinasabi, using the information on his archive as well as interviewing people, okay, who know him somewhere, who know him well, then it will comprise already a good assessment or a good evaluation. And that is the reason why, okay, the deceased person can still be considered a test taker or an assessee, as well as the persons who know this person well. The persons who know this deceased person well. Okay? So you are an assessee or you are a test taker because you are subjected to an assessment or an evaluation. And of course, the society at large is among the parties involved in assessment. Sinasabi ko sa inyo society contains people, and people have a goal in their lives. And part of this goal is to be well. Part of this goal is to have a better life. And in achieving this being well, in achieving this better life, they actually need individuals around them to help them. And that is the reason why there are people involved in helping these people or the society. And that is also basically the reason why psychological assessment, no, are very much helpful in achieving the goal of these people in the society. So, lahat ng tao, halos kailangan ba ng psychological assessment or psychological evaluation? Well, I would like to believe, except for some extreme cases and extreme situations, that psychological assessment is no longer viable for um, these situations and for these uh, people with extreme conditions. Okay? And of course, there is what we call other parties involved. We have the organizations. Siyempre, sa isang malaking organization, bakit nila kailangan ng mga psychological tests? Bakit nila gustong mag-conduct ng psychological assessment? Okay? How have the company um, grow in terms of uh, people development, okay? Or workers development, companies, government agencies, government agencies. Uh, for example, mm, there are government agencies where they do not have available materials for psychological assessment, and they also do not have available people to conduct psychological assessment. And therefore, they seek, no, um, the services of other psychological um, assessment companies to come to help them. But of course, this entails budget. This entails budget. Academicians, for example, why are they considered as um, parties involved in psychological assessment? because of their research. No? Academicians do not stop from doing researches in order to be able to innovate in their field of profession. And therefore, what happens is that they need these psychological assessment. They need these psychological tests. So, ang daming parties involved in psychological assessment. It is because I would like to repeat na psychological assessment does give very, very great help in people and in the society uh, as a whole. Okay, so those are the different parties. This time, I would move now to the types of settings in which assessments are conducted. And in fact, class, the different parties that I have just enumerated and discussed some of its uh, reasons, no, why they are considered as parties. These are now related with the types of settings in which assessments are conducted. That is why nabanggit kanina, the society at large, government agencies, academicians, so forth and so on. Because in these types of settings, we all can see different levels of test users. Okay? Different levels of test users. Um, that is why if you noticed also a while ago, in the very title of the first topic that I discussed, assessment enterprise. Um, well, you might ask me, is assessment a business? It is a business in the sense that, yes, it involves the production of assessment tools. And in the production of these assessment tools, you actually expect buyers or purchasers. They buy, they purchase because they have uses. They are being used. And they are being used because it gives a common good. It gives a common good. So it's actually an enterprise. Okay? So, saan ba nakakandak ang assessments? And now we refer to the different types of settings. Educational settings. Bakit number one sa educational settings? No? Um, what are usually used in educational settings na types ng mga tests? School ability tests. School ability tests. Kayo, nung pumasok kayo sa CSU, di ba? Nagkaroon kayo ng admission tests. Nag-test kayo. And for what is that? For you to be admitted if you are able to pass the admission test. And admission test is also a way to measure your ability in entering this particular institution with respect to the standards of this institution that you are entering. So you are measured in terms of ability. Okay? Pero hindi lang naman 'yan ang 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 uh, ang klase ng test na pwedeng ibigay sa mga tao or sa mga learners, okay, in school. There are a lot of school ability tests. Another, achievement tests. Achievement tests evaluate accomplishment or the degree of learning that has taken place. So compared to that of aptitude test is um, it determines no your ability in future endeavors. Will you be able to pass this first year term, or will you be able to um, uh, graduate in this particular test, in this particular course, I should say. So, ang ability test, um, it's more of what can this person do, and it encompasses a lot of cognitive um, abilities, no? It involves problem solving, mga ganun, creativity, novel thinking. Uh, it involves your uh, aptitude or your ability in mathematics, in science, for example. Pero ang achievement test, ito yung in-measure lang niya how much you have learned. From what? From a certain course maybe? From a certain subject? Okay. From a certain training. So that, mag-gauge mo, gaano ba karami ang naipasok niya sa kanyang kukuha. That's what you mean by achievement test. And in school, achievement tests can come in the form of the quizzes which your teachers give you. So, di ba, that is the gauge of a teacher if you have learned something from the topic that she discussed with you. So, magbibigay siya ng 10-item quiz. So, ang nakuha mo, 9 out of 10. Ibig sabihin, halos makuha mo lahat. Pag halos makuha mo lahat, you have learned, no? And you really have understood the topic that was discussed by the teacher. Pero, in the real essence of psychological assessment, hindi naman quiz yun. Hindi naman siya quiz. I am just trying to explain here what achievement tests are. Meaning to say, you take achievement test because you have undergone studying a certain topic. And you would like to measure how much you have learned from that topic. Ang aptitude test, maski ano, no? Kahit hindi ka nag-prepare. Kasi tinitignan yung iyong abilidad. Tinitignan yung iyong abilidad. How ready are you? Okay? To take a training course, for example. How ready are you to be sent to a school that is of high standard? Will you be able um, to succeed when you are to take your masteral um, studies there, yung mga tipong ganun. Or you might want to see if you are qualified to take, you are qualified for a scholarship. Yan, mga ability test ang ibibigay sa ganyan. Okay? Next, diagnostic test. In the educational setting, ano bang dinadiagnose dyan, ma'am? Hindi naman clinic sa educational setting eh. Bakit? Clinic lang ba ang pwedeng magbigay ng diagnostic test? Hindi. Even in educational settings. Diagnostic test refers to a tool of assessment used to help narrow down and identify areas of deficit to be targeted for intervention. For example, you have heard when you were in high school, nagpa-diagnostic test ang mga high school teachers ngayon. And tinitignan nila kung ano yung resulta. Saan kaya mahina ang mga bata? Saan kaya nila kailangan na matutoran? Saan kaya ang diferensya among these facets of emotional quotient test, no? Among its facets, Ah, nakita ko dito pala sa may um, aggression niya ang medyo mataas and therefore dito ko siya bibigyan ng intervention. As if you are a medical doctor that you are trying to diagnose which is wrong, no? With this particular group of students or with this individual in school. So you are making a diagnosis. Why do you make a diagnosis? Because you are to make an intervention, no? For the weakness that you were able to see based on the test that you have given this client of yours or this student of your college. And then in educational settings, well, there are a lot of informal evaluations. Katulad nung sinabi ko noon sa inyo, sinabi ko kanina, like yung mga quizzes, these are informal evaluations. Or in the classroom alone, the teacher observes the behavior of a certain student because for the longest time, nakakapuna na si teacher, no? Sa mga peculiarities in behavior ng isang estudyante. You call this informal evaluation. It is non-systematic assessment, no? But even if it is non-systematic, it will still help, okay, in the formation of an opinion or an attitude. Dahil, sa quizzes niya, ito ang observe ko sa kanya, bumaba. Tapos nakikita ko na sa classroom, ganito na naman siya. Tapos may nag-report sa akin, nakaklase niya, basag ulo daw siya. Tapos meron akong narinig sa community dahil neighbor ko siya. May nagsabi na magulo ang kanilang pamilya. So these are informal evaluation. But they are still evaluation and they are still helpful because they help in the formulation of an opinion or certain attitude or characteristics that need to be checked or that need to be um, given attention. Okay, so those are the things, no, or those are the tests in the educational setting. Clinical settings, what do we expect? Clinical settings. The tests are used to help screen for or diagnose behavior problems. So what tests are expected? Well, like behavior problem checklists maybe, or tests of depression, tests of anxiety, tests of stress, and a lot more, which could help the clinician confirm the observation that he made with the client already. Other than that, pwedeng mga intelligence tests, no? Sa clinical setting, bakit ka magbibigay ng intelligence test? Kasi dito mo malalaman kung ang iyong kliyente ay meron siyang mental deficiency or meron siyang intellectual disability, and that is the reason why hindi or mahihirapan kang makipag-usap sa kanya ng maayos. And that is the reason why you need members of his family to come over for you to talk about the condition of your loved one. Personality tests, neuropsychological tests, and other specialized instruments. Okay? So, under clinical settings, it says there, the hallmark of testing in clinical setting is that the test or measurement technique is employed with only one individual at a time. Only one individual at a time. Dahil sa clinical setting, nakita niyo ang mga doctors, kung hindi lang bata yan, wala dapat kasama ang pasyente. Diba? Wala dapat kasama ang pasyente. For as long as yung pasyente ay matinong kausap, nakakausap mo pa, individual dapat yung testing na mangyayari sa kanya. So that is the hallmark. Ibig sabihin, yan yung signature ng clinical assessment. And pero, can you actually do group testing? Halimbawa lang, okay. Because group testing is used primarily for screening. Pwede naman, because ang purpose mo lang is to screen. And to screen is to identify individuals who require further diagnostic evaluation. Halimbawa, 10 silang lahat na pinapunta, no? Pinapunta ng military camp, a certain military camp, sa isang clinic. So here is the psychiatrist. O dahil 10 sila, kung kaagad ko silang isa-isahin, hindi ko lahat sila matatapos. So I need to identify who among them needs my attention the most. Kung ako ang clinician. So I'm going to give them a group test. I might as well give them a depression test, for example. Tapos doon mo ma-identify sino ba sa kanilang elevated ang kanilang depression. Kung elevated ang depression kasi, ibig sabihin, matindi ang problema niya. And so, I need to immediately attend to this person. Kasi, kapag ka-depressed ang tao, kailangan niya ng karamay niya, and at the same time, ito yung mabilis na mag-succumb sa suicidal ideation. Mabuti kung mabilis na mag-succumb lang. E paano kung kaagad na niyang kinitil ang kanyang buhay at nag-suicide siya? So that's a different story. And it's a harder situation. So kailangan ng tinatawag na screening. That is why pwedeng magkaroon ng group testing. Pero after you have identified who among this group of clients needs immediate attention, then one-on-one mo yan. Kailangan individual na ang atake mo sa pasyente na ito, sa client. Okay? Another, clinical counseling settings. The ultimate objective of assessments is the improvement of the assessee in terms of adjustment, productivity, or some related variable. I think it is no longer new to you, no, na I have to go for counseling. I need counseling. You need counseling, it's because there is an adjustment problem that you are going through at the moment. So you need to be helped. You need to be helped. Productivity, bakit kailangan? No? Kailangan ng counseling. Kasi sa isang kumpanya, magtataka. Ang boss, bakit hindi nila na-meet yung target na ide-deliver nila ng mga produkto? Na usually naman, nagagawa nila yun. So I think my people need counseling. And therefore, workers could also go for counseling because a certain problem was seen, and to confirm that it is more of a worker attitude problem, then these workers need to go for counseling. So there are a lot of reasons why people go for counseling. And primarily, it is because there's a problem, okay, that you cannot face normally, or you can no longer control it with your own self, that is why you need help of experts. So, ito ang mga madalas na kliyente ng mga counselors. And what else? In counseling settings, what are measured are academic and social skills. Halimbawa, academic skills, no? Bakit tayo nahihirapan ako mag-memorize? Tapos laging mababa ang grado ko, mababa ang scores ko sa mga quizzes ko lately. Hindi naman ako dati ganito. Eh, sino makakatulong sa'yo? So you go for counseling. Okay? Social skills. Social skills. I do not know the reason why I hate being with group now when before I wasn't like that. So if it bothers you, you go for counseling. Okay. Personality, interests, attitudes, as well as values. So, ito ang mga variables na pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng mga counselors. Ng mga counselors. And that is why psychological assessment is very much promising under counseling settings also. Geriatric settings, well, from the word geriatric, para sa mga adults ito o mga matatanda. So, kailangan din ba nila ng assessment? So, what are found here are assessments which are vital in evaluating cognitive, psychological, adaptive, or other functioning. Cognitive. Tingnan mo kasi, bakit kaya ulyanit na ako? Hindi ko na mapag, I can no longer, there is mismatch of the terms that I call to the things that I am referring to. Ako, masama na yun. Diba? Masama na yun. So, paano mo malaman na meron ka na parang dementia? Paano mo malaman na ikaw ay meron palang cognitive disorder? So, mga kliyente yan sa geriatric settings or clinics. Okay? Madalas, ang kailangan ng mga psychological assessment dito ay yung mga quality of life evaluations. Are these matatanda, stressed? That is the reason why masyado silang sensitive at lagi silang umiiyak. The level of loneliness that they have. No? How about their sources of satisfaction? Their personal values? The quality of living conditions, for example. Mag-isa na pala siya. So lahat na pala ng anak niya ay pamilyado na. And therefore, wala nang nag-aasikaso sa kanya. The quality of friendships that you have, okay, as well as social support. Kaya ba natuluyan na siya dahil wala siyang social support or very weak at yung social support? And all of these are the conditions which adult people would go through with the rest of their lives. And they need to be helped, especially if their well-being is at stake. Diba? So, hindi ibig sabihin na porke matatanda na sila, wala na silang silbi sa society. Meron pa rin dapat tutulong sa kanila to restore the quality of life that they have or the well-being that they have while they are still living in this world. So, kailangan pa rin ng psychological assessment. Well, ang mga matatanda, magkaroon lang sila ng kausap, okay na sila eh. Kasi, mag-isa pala sila. Okay, kung ganun. Okay, we also have business and military settings. Business and military settings. What are the tests usually found here or usually used, that are usually used? Achievement, aptitude, interest, motivational tests. And why do they need this? For decision making in terms of hiring, in terms of promotion, for transfer, especially kapag speaking of transfer, kung sisibakin na yung isang sundalo o kaya police because of truancy, okay, or uh, ano ba yun? Yeah, because of truancy or because of some misconduct done in their department, yun, uh, bibigyan sila ng assessment para kapag ka ma-transfer siya, would it help? Okay. And the briefing, for example, yung mga galing sa a war, and they need to be debriefed, and hindi na kayang i-handle ng mga tao sa department nila ang mga to. So they actually need to be referred, no? But in the military settings, they definitely have personnel to look into these needs. Okay? Job satisfaction, how satisfied are my people in the business, in my business. Baka naman very low na ang kanilang productivity because for the longest time, wala na palang increase ng kanilang pay. Or must I know how they are because the problems might be coming from outside the organization? Must it be something personal? Or must it be something on the psychological aspect of my um, of my workers? And you need assessment in order to identify who are eligible for further training. For example, in the business sector or even in the military setting. Okay? So, interviews and other tools of assessment that are used also uh, for taking calls of consumers sa business ito, for predicting public receptivity to new products or brands. Okay. Gumagawa sila ng survey. For diagnosing what is wrong about the brands, product, campaign, etc. For making recommendations about appeal of products, when to revitalize or retire old brands. So, ang lahat ng ito pala ay nakakatulong ang psychological assessment. So, kailangan nila ang mga psychological evaluations or psychological assessment para lang masabot ang lahat ng kanilang mga concerns. And of course, in governmental and organizational credentialing na sinasabi nila, like licensing or certification. So, what would be example of licensing and certification? Yung PRC, di ba? For you to be able to get a license or a certification, di ba kailangan kang mag-take ng test? So that's it. Mag-take ng board exam. Another, for you to be able to get a driver's license, hindi ba meron ka dapat simulation na ginagawa in terms of driving, and you also have to take a test, no? Pagdating sa driving, and at the same time, pwede ring matest ang iyong attitude or you could be tested of how you handle these situations, for example, in traffic, masyado ka bang agresibo, ikaw ba yung tipong dapat nang hindi bigyan ng lisensya dahil mukhang papatay ka ng tao kapag ka masyadong mahaba ang traffic, things of those sort. Okay? So, psychological assessment is actually needed in government and organizational credentialing. Or, halimbawa, no, when you get promoted, DepEd usually would let their uh, aspiring um, teachers or heads to go for uh, neuropsychological tests, to go for personality assessment, okay, as a requirement for their uh, evaluation for promotion. Mga tipong ganun. And of course, sa academic research settings, di mo talaga maiiwasan yung pangangailangan mo of the different psychological tests, no, meant for research. Okay. Yung mga thesis writers natin, di ba, purgang-purga na sila sa paghahanap ng mga iba't ibang psychological tests na magagamit lang nila para sa kanilang research, for example. Sa kanilang thesis, for example. Teachers alone, okay, use psychological tests for their research also. And, well, the government and even the Commission on Higher Education is into the cultivation of culture of research and innovation, no, in higher education institutions. And that is why teachers or professors really need to undergo research, for them to be able to contribute to new knowledge and for them to be able to come up with models, okay, to come up with good intervention programs that would cater to the different needs of teachers and needs of learners primarily, di ba? So, kailangan din ang psychological assessment ay masyadong kailangan sa academic research settings. Other settings would be courts. Di ba? Yung nabanggit ko noon sa inyo na sino ang pupuntahan ng bata. That is why we have forensic psychologists. Or that is why we have expert witnesses na mga psychologists to determine those. How about kapag nagkaroon ng or nag-plead ng insanity si perpetrator or si murderer, and courts did not study, okay, did not specialize in determining as to whether the murderer or the perpetrator was insane when they committed the crime, was insane when he or she committed the crime, I should say. So, saan nila ipapasa yan? Ia-assess yan ng mga psychologists. And there is a way for them to do it. So, it is also needed by government programs for program evaluation. Halimbawa, yung K-12 curriculum na yan, sino ang mga inatasan nila? Okay. Para makita how effective the K-12 curriculum is. Si CHED, nagbigay siya ng scholarship, no, among teachers. At nag-award sila, not scholarship I should say, ng research, ng fund for research. At in-award nila ito sa mga nanalo sa vetting. And it's actually one way of evaluating how far is K to 12 curriculum in terms of preparing its graduates to become college ready. I've given my experience, no, as one of the commission um, members of the research team, okay, sometime in 2019 until 2021. So what did we do? Because of our research, we were able to find out that there is much more to fix in the K to 12 curriculum. Okay? And then we also have health psychology. Okay? It's a discipline that focuses on understanding the role of psychological variables on the onset, course, treatment, and prevention of illness, disease, and disability. So, therefore, kailangan mo pa rin ng mga psychological assessment dyan. Is this, yung illness ba, no, is a plain illness that is, shall I say, it's just physiological? Or it is something that, um, or it is something that uh, it is because of a psychological uh, comorbidity. That is why it has to be confirmed by doing psychological evaluation or assessment. And individual interviews, surveys, and paper and pencil tests are used in other settings. So thank you everyone, my dear students, for um, listening, and till the next discussion that I will have with you again. So thank you.